An Arkansas epic collapse in Omaha. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Locked on SEC starts now.
You are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Locked On SEC, a bonus edition as we come to you following an epic finish for LSU beating Arkansas 6-5 in Omaha in the semifinals to go to the College World Series finals. I'm Chris Gordy. This is Locked On SEC. Thank you guys for making us your first listen every day. Shout out to everydayers. Keep on subscribing and check us out. We're free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Today's brought to you by Monarch Money. Of course, you can take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Go to college at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Well, let's get into this as we had an epic game on, Wednesday night as the Arkansas Razorbacks fall to the LSU Tigers 6-5 in the semifinals of the NCAA tournament. Heartbreaking fashion. Yet again, Arkansas took a 2-run lead in the top of the ninth. Well, let's rewind. I mean, I thought pitching matchup was pretty outstanding with Zach Cowan and Michael Scheis for Arkansas. And I those guys did a pretty good learned. LSU gets Arkansas for 2, and then Gacko comes in and does his job. I mean, 3 innings of 1-0. Chase Shores for LSU. He ends up there, particularly LSU gets into the 8th inning or gets the 8th inning, and Arkansas takes a 3-2 lead. Jared Jones hits one in the 8th, 3, but it was Arkansas coming up with the big hit to take a 5-3 lead with Thomas Jr. singling to left. And so that took us to the bottom of the 9th. And in comes Gibbler to try to finish this thing off. He gets pinch hitter Pearson to strike out swinging. Derek Curiel reaches on an infield single, pulls the first baseman Robinette off the base, and he was too far off and couldn't make a good throw. Ethan Fry works a walk. And then Stephen Milam grounds out to short. And you thought, okay, this is it. This is a double play ball, and this game is going to end. But Aloy opts to go to third to get the lead runner, which doesn't make any sense. You're up 5-3. You have a 2-run lead. That runner at second doesn't matter. Who cares? Instead, he goes to third, and every replay showed Stephen Milam was running so slow out of the box that you probably would have turned 2. So multiple people have confirmed, ball players have said, yes, based on where he was, that this would have turned 2. And so with 2 outs, Hernandez is up for LSU, and he rips one to left. And unfortunately, the left fielder cannot come up with it. It bounces off his shoulder, rolls into the corner. Fry scores, Milam scores, and we are tied 5-5. And so David Horn makes a change, goes to Jimenez, and opts to pitch to Bear Jones for LSU. It makes no sense. This is the same guy who just hit the tying home run in the 8th. Why you would pitch to him? Why not walk him? Go to somebody, whoever's behind him. And lo and behold, he singles to center. And that was all she wrote. LSU walks it off 6-5, but heartbreaking for Arkansas, as it felt like, man, they are going to force a Thursday game. Their pitching has been so good. Zach Root and Gage, what he did with the no-hitter the other night. I mean, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for Arkansas fans. And, we brought up history was not kind. Go back a handful of years ago to that series against Oregon State. catch a fly ball and you're a national champion. Instead, you let that one slip away. And now here it was the last couple years. You get to the College World Series again in 19, then 2020 season's canceled due to COVID. 21, you get to the Super Regional and lose. 22, you get to the College World Series. And then 23 and 24, you lose in the Fayetteville Regionals. So you're finally back there again, and you come up short. And, some conversations being had in Arkansas. Look, Dave Van Horn is a legend. He's an outstanding coach. But there were some people in my mentions last offseason saying, do you make a change? Do you say, hey, we love you. Let's walk off into the sunset and retire? 64 years old, be 65 later this year. Look around the league. There's a lot of young, hungry coaches making names for themselves. And Jay Johnson at LSU has a chance now to go on and possibly win his second World Series already. Look at what Tony Vitello is doing at Tennessee. And granted, Arkansas got the best of him, and you celebrate that. But it's just tough in the moment. If you're Arkansas, you're looking at it and going, "What more do we need to do?" And you feel for all the Arkansas fans out there that deal with heartbreak and constantly in the sports world, and just feels like this is another one to mount on the top for Arkansas. Just another heartbreak. And LSU beats Arkansas for the fourth time in 5 meetings this season, including the 4-1 win last Saturday in the opener in Omaha. They're 5-0 all time in Men's College World Series meetings with the Razorbacks, and puts an end to Arkansas season. Just absolute heartbreak. And again, you look back and question some of the pitching decision. I mean, I think both sides. I think majority of the calls. I just think Aloy going third on the Milam grounder was, you can't say how crushing that was. Absolutely just crushing. And so the College World Series, it will be LSU versus Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers, who took care of Florida in the regional in their home ballpark, and then went to Auburn and just absolutely crushed Auburn in their super regional. And Coastal has won 26 games in a row. They have not lost a game since April 22nd. We were preparing for the NFL draft the last time Coastal Carolina lost a game this season. So they are on a mighty run. The good news for LSU, without having to play a game on Thursday, remember they were going to have to play tomorrow. If Arkansas hung on to win this, they were most likely going to go to their ace, Cade Anderson, on 4 days rest. Remember, Ianson the other night only pitched a couple of innings, so he was going to be available for a few innings out of the pen. And then you probably could have gone back to Case and Evans for another inning if you really needed him. So it would have been just about all hands on deck for LSU tomorrow. Instead, how this sets up is LSU can now go game 1 of the College World Series, Cade Anderson, game 2 of the College World Series, Anthony Ianson, and may not even need a game 3. But again, that's if you're an LSU fan and you're wishful thinking. Coastal Carolina, they've been on a mighty run. They've been beating everyone in their way, including SEC teams. So, again, that's kind of where we are. But again, feel bad for Arkansas fans. Feel good for LSU fans. You feel pretty damn happy right now knowing that you have a chance to go win a second College World Series title under Jay Johnson. And, let's be real. SEC pride on the line as well. I know a lot of SEC fans not necessarily rude. I saw even Texas fans were tweeting, sucks for you, Arkansas, blah, 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 but I'm not rooting for LSU to win. I get it. But we're locked on SEC as far as conference pride goes. You talk about, okay, you lose in the playoff, and Ohio State wins the football national championship in January, albeit that was from last year. The game was played in 2025, but it was for the 2024 college football season. So you talk about the other championships that have been played this year. You have Florida winning the men's college basketball championship. South Carolina came up short to UConn in the women's national championship, still played for it. You have Texas softball winning the national championship. And now if LSU can find a way to win the baseball championship, It's a hell of a start for the SEC in all sports in 2025. So, granted, the biggest one that counts is football, and God willing, we're going to need somebody to step up. Georgia, Alabama, LSU, whoever, please step forward and win the national championship in football this year. But as far as the conference goes, look, Greg Sankey is smiling proud, saying, "Hey, look, we've in all the big sports so far this year, the SEC has had a representative in the national championship, and that just shows the dominance of this conference across the board. So, football's king, but all the other sports matter too, and certainly in a great spot. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of a quick snack size bonus edition. Wanted to just jump on and react to that because it was a heck of a game, heck of a series. Feel for our guy John Neighbors, host of Locked On Razorbacks. I know he's heartbroken over this. And hey, shout out to our guy Matt Moscona, who does Locked On LSU, who is celebrating and has already guaranteed if LSU wins the College World Series, he's jumping into his pool again on his live stream. So make sure you guys check that out. All right, that's going to do it. We'll talk to you guys. We got episodes dropping Thursday. We got one with Chris Marler talking all things about our overlook on the 2025 college football SEC, college football season. And then we'll also have our squad show dropping later in the day, reacting to some of the Diego Pavia stuff, some quarterback rankings, and much more. So remember to subscribe. Locked On SEC, wherever you get your podcasts.